So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Packers now to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. First down. Here's Burrow. He hits his target, Lockett. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
84 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Burrow looking to pass. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he's got this down to the 35.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On first down, Hunt. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now it's Hunt. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Here we go. Here's a give to Carter.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Flushed out right, and he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. 4 yards to go on 2nd down from the 7. This is Hunt, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1. Now it's Burrow. Touchdown, Packers. Tyler Lockett with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. What a great drive that was. A long drive, sustained, well executed.
I love what we're seeing out of him here in year 2, right? This young quarterback continues to evolve and grow. He's really the adage right now that John Wooden, the famous basketball coach, used to say. Be quick, but don't hurry. You can see that everything is happening for him, but he's not taking it at a pace that he can't sustain.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no return here for Evans as they will bring this out to the 25. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the lap.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Chicago. Darius Slayton, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bears cut into that lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is down to 24. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Matthew Judon in there to take him down.
The New England Patriots were seeking a good edge rusher, and Matt Judon is now providing that, having come over from Baltimore. 30.5 sacks the last 4 years there. They expect him to get to the quarterback frequently in Patriots red and blue.
And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. Open man is Edwards. He's got it. Touchdown! Bryan Edwards, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are pouring it on. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Tucker now to add the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no return here for Evans as they will bring this out to the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Throwing is Wilson. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Chicago. skillful running. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. Three quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. It's Hunt, and he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
On first down, Hunt, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop him short of a first down.
And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal as he's able to take this inside the 10 to the 8. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 40, 20, 10, 5. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice. Because it's
got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Darius Slayton with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bears get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is down to 24. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside. Is going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense. And he's been magnificent as we start to roll on all these touchdown passes he's had so far. It's been fun to watch.
It's been almost poetic, hasn't it? Captain, my captain. And this captain is playing so well and leading his team. As you mentioned, the great number of touchdown passes. He's looking really, really sharp.
Now maybe he just wants to add to that total, right?
And why not? More the merrier.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd down, it's Carter, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. Tucker's kick is good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And no return here for Evans as they will bring this out to the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. There's Wilson to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Chicago. Sony Michel, 82 yards. And the Bears get a bit closer. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead down to 20. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the fourth. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Green Bay, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half.
And they will head home for next week's contest. That is against Washington.
Meanwhile, for the Bears, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin.